Well, hello everybody, it's Leanne Greff with another Tips and Tricks video, Facebook Live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time on my Flowerbugs Ink Spot Facebook page. So hopefully you're either watching live or watching later, and let me know you're here. Yeah, I'm gonna get my laptop synced up. Oh, I see that there's a lot of glare going on here on the picture. So these are the door prizes from last week. We're gonna share who won as soon as my laptop syncs up and I can greet everybody. Let me know if you're here and where you're from. If it's your first time here, I'd like to welcome you. And boy, it's taken just a little bit. I've been having a little bit of trouble with my laptop lately. It's just slow. I don't know what's happening. You know, the internet can be such a gift and such a frustration in so many ways. Good morning, everybody. Okay, now I'm seeing that a lot of people are on. So let's get started. Okay, so last week the prize for commenting was a set of rhinestone gems. And for sharing, it was the Expressions of Friendship stamp set. It's a host stamp set. You can see that right there. So really fun backgrounds, technique, lots of cute, great greetings. So the winners of these are Prize Patrol, Candace Birch won the stamp set, and Cheryl Cooksey won the gems. So congratulations, gals. I'm so glad that you watch and you share or comment, so I appreciate that. So I'll be sending those to you all, you both, I should say. Okay, so the door prizes for this week for commenting is a set of the matte black dots. That's in the annual catalog. And something a little different. We are giving away 5 hand pen card bases and I guess 5 envelopes and a set of, it's half a set of the Memories and More cards. Now these are, you wouldn't get that one, you get the full pieces. I used some, as I'll show you in just a minute. But you get the adhesive stickers and the 4x6 cards and some 3x4 cards. And let me show you some samples of what I did with these. These are in the annual catalog right now, and they are such good ways to make quick cards. I mean, you know, gather happy moments. Well, I'll show you. Okay. So I've been using some of these in my my thank you cards lately. And so here you can see I put a Memories and More card and just half of one as a little layer. I did use a lot of the rhinestone gems right here. This would be a great baby card. Here is a birthday card. Now this is just the main 4x6 card with the die cut greeting added to it. Here's another one where I cut one of the Memories and More cards in half on the angle. Can you see that? And layered it onto one of the other Memories and More cards. These kits are so fun to use. I think this is the same kit. No, I'm not sure. No, this is not the same kit. This is from a different one. I do love playing with the Memories and More cards. They are just awesome. So this is for sharing. You can get the Memories and More cards, envelopes, and card bases. And so yeah, share wherever, your page, stamping group you're in, anywhere. Let people know if you like my videos, and I'll get more followers. I appreciate your help on that. I'm growing little by little. Okay, last night we had Stamp With Me Live on the 2nd and 4th Mondays. Each month, unless there's a holiday or something happening. Usually I'm live on the 2nd and 4th Mondays, and we made technique cards last night using the floating technique. So this is one of them that I did, and I actually glued strips of the All Together black and white paper onto a window sheet and cut it out with a circle die. Then I added some of these fun sunflower dandelion flowers from the dandelion dies. And here are 2 others, just using cardstock strips onto a piece of a window sheet, again cut out with the largest circle die. These are the Amazing Thanks dies that layer each other beautifully. And here are a couple odd ones that you add elements, die cut elements or punched elements to a window sheet. and then pop it up with dimensionals. It's super easy. I use the adhesive sheets to adhere these, no glue needed. It's so simple when you're having intricate or when you're using intricate die cuts or punches. No glue, you just peel the backing off and stick. So those are in our annual catalog. So that's what we did last night. Oh, and by the way, on my Stamp and Share page, not the Flowerbugs Ink Spot, but Flowerbugs Stamp and Share group, if you post a floating card by the second Sunday, last night I think I said on the video it'd be like the 7th. Well, it isn't. The second Monday would be my first video where I draw a winner for this. So look in my Flowerbug Stamp and Share group, and that's where the drawing will be. I'd love to see what you make. Okay, what is happening this month? For orders over $50 using my host code, you will receive a new embellishment from the January through June catalog. A paper pumpkin. Oh, where is my flyer for that? Hang on a minute. I must have put it in a good spot. But it features the, I'm just going to look one more place. Nope. It features the New Horizons designer paper. And if you order by March 10th, you will get that paper pumpkin kit. And it includes an extra bonus stamp set. So that's one of the new, one of the paper pumpkin promotions happening right now. Then we have the Savings Are in Bloom promotion, and there is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is 20% off. So you get the 2 clear plates, all the layers for embossing thin and thick folders, and the die cut platform. This is meant to be handy on your desk, so cute and small. And all of these bundles, this one and all of these, the dies all fit in here. So there's a little icon in all our catalogs that show which dies will all fit the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So these die bundles, Stampin' Die bundles, are all 20% off through March. So this is the current, one of the current specials or promotions happening, where you can save on your bundles or that mini machine. Okay, so that's happening. And then the other promotion that just started today is the Waves of the Ocean. And that is a new collection that is available through, May 2nd. So these will not be in the catalog coming out. This is just a, I guess you'd say 2-month promotion. So I am offering a bundle deal with this, where when you buy the bundle from me, you get a 6-card kit and exclusive videos and PDF tutorial. It does not include any of these products. Let me show you. I showed last time, but I'll show again. So we have foil paper in, I think it's Bermuda, Coastal Cabana maybe, silver, and Pacific Point. Gosh, now I'm drawing a blank, but you can kind of see it's very reflective, very beautiful. I'll be using that today. And then the Waves of the Ocean is what this designer paper is called. So it is, what they did, the artist did a paint pouring technique and took pictures of the paint pour using our colors. So it's Pacific Point, I think navy, Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, Calypso Coral, what am I missing? Daffodil Delight, but they are gorgeous papers that would be beautiful on cards and backgrounds. So I'm going to use some of this today as well. And then the last thing besides the Stampin' Dies bundle are these Rhinestones Waves Basic Jewels. And these are all in blues and greens that are in those, the colors. So that is just beautiful. Love these, blues and greens are right up my alley. So remember, this is a 2-month promotion, and here is the stamp set, and let's take out the dies. I'll be using quite a few of these today. There are 2 different Waves dies. They're different sizes. I'll show that on one of the cards. 2 different labels, and then the clouds have layers. So this is a layer on top of that one, and this is a layer on top of that cloud. And then there is a die that matches the pelican on the pier. And then there's the birds. So lots of, they did a wonderful job designing this one. Okay, now let's get into, I don't want to lose track of what I'm doing. We are going to start with a technique. And it is a masking technique, and I created this for the kit to go. This will be one of the cards for the kit to go, and it is a masking technique. So let me just start with the little details because I tend to forget those. This little die cut right here is part of the Tasteful Labels dies. So that is where that came from. And the little For You is not in the kit. I just wanted something really short. And I used this A Good Man stamp set with that for that For You. I just wanted a real basic kind of, could be a manly card, might not be, but you have the options. All right, so here are the measurements for this card. I'm going to scoot that right over here. Hopefully that's still in view. Yeah. Okay. All right, so how I mask the moon before I start on that is I receive these Post-it notes that are sticky everywhere. You can get them in an office supply store. I don't know about any little smaller stores that might have them. But if you punch, you do need to punch either 2 layers or put the sticky on a piece of cardstock because our punches don't like thin layers. You could die cut it as well. I have some of our retired Stampin' Up! Punches, so that's what I use. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, I don't like to emboss on video, so I do that ahead of time. It is embossed with white embossing powder. Now, you could easily use clear because I did it on white. So we're going to use the Emboss Resist technique, and I already remember something I forgot, so hold on just a second. When you use the Emboss Resist technique, you need to be able to wipe off the sponging that I'm going to do. All right, and you know, I just realized something. I'm going to use, I don't like to make my paper messy the first project because then I have that blotchy mess. All right, we're going to use Native Navy, Pacific Point, and Bermuda Bay for our coloring. I'm not even sure I'm going to use much Bermuda Bay, but we will start with the bottom where the clouds are. Okay, and that's with Pacific Point. So I'm using blending brushes, and I just want to get where these waves are. So starting off the paper and slowly working my way on, I just want to do the lower part like it's water. Really nice and soft to start with. You can always add more, but always start off the paper. You can kind of see some of the embossing peeking through here, but we're going to wipe that off. So this technique is called Emboss Resist. A little bit over here, I want to blend that out, and then a touch up here to blend into the sky. Okay, now I want to get a lot darker here. And you can do some spot, you know, if you're, I don't know, you can do either very soft or very dark. Okay, so I'm gonna quit with that for now. I am going to add just a little bit of Bermuda Bay for some green. And you'll see if I can get some of that on there. Might just add a little bit of a green tint here and there. Okay, so now scoot those away. And I'm going to have a wet tissue, just barely damp, Don't want it much, and start wiping that ink off. Now the reason it wipes off is because it is classic or water-based ink, and the emboss, it's called Emboss Resist, and you can see how that comes off but the color stays on the cardstock. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, now we're going to start with navy and do our sky. This is a, hey Faye, I'm glad you're here. What size punch is the moon? Good question, Ellen. This one is 1 3/8. I think they're both 1 3/8. You could sure make them smaller or bigger. So I'm going to scoop my paper around so I don't pick up any of that navy. Now this time I want to be really strong at the top and work my way down, but I want to provide or kind of, oh, I got a little something on there. Oh boy. I want to have a little bit of a shadow from the moon. So just slowly working my way down like it's casting a shadow. I don't know if moons do that, but it was a neat technique that I saw in a picture. And I'm getting a little blotchy because I'm rushing. So less is the way to go, to start off at the top, especially if you want your top to be darker like I do. You can always kind of cover up some of these areas that I got a little bit blotchy. That one spot right there is going to be a little problem, I can see. You can go back and forth. I find round and around is a little bit better when you're blending, and you want to blend into the other color just a little bit. So now I'm going to purposely get nice and dark at the top because that gives you a depth of color. It takes a long time when you're doing this type of technique to get the difference. You want to start out, oh, I don't know why I'm getting those blotches up there. Sometimes your brush can pick up little pieces of something on either on your stamp set, or I don't know where those little blotches come from now and then, those little spots. But I'm getting there. I want to get a little blending more down here into the wave so it's not so... There, that's a little bit better. Getting there. Then you want to just do a little bit around that moon so the moon stands out. You don't want it totally white. Yeah, it is a gorgeous suite, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to get my tissue back, and if I got any ink on those waves, I'm going to blend that out. All right, we'll see what this looks like when I peel that moon off. There we go. Pretty, right? So easy. I mean, just a blending brush and a couple ink colors, and you've got it. And then just layer it. But the birds, to me, those birds add a beautiful detail. That's what I think makes the card. And I cut them out of foil paper. Just gonna layer this. You can see the dimensions on here. The navy is, I think, 5, and I can see it's just a little uneven. I thought I had it better. Let me see if I can fix that with my paper trimmer. Yep, I can see it's just a tad uneven. Better. Okay. All right, so my card base is 4 1/4 by 11. Just fold it in half. And I'm going to add some glue. Oh, I did remember I forgot something. So I'll set that aside. Get my little dimensionals out. I'm using the minis on the back of this little For You greeting. Because I want to trim this off before, let's see, do I want to have it up high? Yeah, I'll put it up high with my scissors before I put it on, because I want it to end on the navy layer. Okay, now I can put it on the card. I like having a little wider border sometimes. I don't know, it just showcases and gives a frame effect. All right, so lastly, we have our birds. And I did, like I said, I've had some of these pre-cut because we made this, not this, one of our other cards at one of my team meetings. So we're gonna get the silicone mat, just in case I make a mess. This helps prevent extra glue on your work surface. The silicone mat does. You can also put some of this glue on there and kind of pick it up. I have some people who use a toothpick when they add little details. You could also cut these out with our adhesive sheets, which would be a lot easier. Okay, so now do I have, no I don't, but I'll use, I take your pick tool, pick that up and put it, I should use the other side. And I think I'll follow the same kind of placement, except that one was backwards. Oh, my finger's sticky. Okay. And I want this one low. Never know which way to put them. I kind of want it a little bit different than the other. Okay, there we go. First card done. I have 3 cards. I make you want all the stamp sets, Brenda. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I do. I like showcasing what I love. It's just fun. All right. So next, let's see which one is next. Oh, an ocean view card. Now this is one we did make at my team meeting. So I had it already cut out. So I love, this is one of my favorite cards with this suite. That is one of the cards going to be in my kit to go, by the way. Okay, so here's the next one. This is, it almost looks like a water globe to me. So yeah, I think it's just really pretty. Okay, we are going to get out that paper again because I'm going to sponge on here. You can kind of see the detail. This is, ooh, somebody tell me the name of this folder. I should know that. Seaside, something. It's in the annual catalog. Who wants to help me out with that? Because I forgot to write it down. Okay, we are coloring with Granny Apple Green and Calypso Coral and Bermuda Bay. All right, so I don't want to use all of them. I'm going to scoot these over so I don't get in trouble. And we'll start with the Calypso Coral. So I just want to get a little bit on my sponge, and I'm going to I'm using a sponge dauber, and I don't want hardly anything on here. I just want a really soft look. Oh, let's see, where's another shell? Right here. I'm just trying to do the seashells because to me those are in coral. That one got a little bit darker. Maybe I'll do a little bit more here just to bring it together. Any other seashells? Right here. You can see I'm kind of brushing it off so it's not so dark. And a little bit of color on this one. I have to lift it up in order to see where the shells are. Oh, there's a little bit more here. Just want a hint of color to add to this card. That one got way too much. And of course, you cannot wash away ink. It just doesn't happen. No washing. Yes, this is the largest, thanks for asking. This is the largest circle in the Circle Collection dies. Yeah, thanks. I forgot to mention that. So this little die cut right here is from the Smooth Sailing dies, and of course the greeting is from the Wave dies that's new. Okay, this is green, and basically what I want to do is add a little bit of green and blue to some of the seaweed, I guess you'd say. I love the blue-green business. I don't know, it's just one of my things. It's a little bit of seaweed up here. I'll just bring in some life to the top. Okay, that's enough of that. Like I said, I want this to be really subtle. Then we'll bring in the Bermuda Bay. Now, some of these colors in the paper kind of match some of the colors in the paper. So depending on which designer paper that you receive, you will it will match your paper. You hardly want any ink on your sponge if you want it to be subtle. If you want it to be bold, but then it's not as forgiving when you do on an embossing folder like this. It can pick up in areas that you don't really want. So I try and be very, very light with this. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. And then what you want to do is glue this on for a window card. You decide where you want that and how your wave, I'm gonna do it like that. Then you will put your dimensionals around the frame on the inside, and it should catch, unless your square or piece is a lot smaller, so it should catch where on the corners. So I'm just going to peel all these off. The minis are great, but they are more work. Okay, I want some of that green in there. And it's caught before I'm ready. Okay, they're pretty good. Then press that on there well. Now for this little, and I don't know why I didn't. I could put a little bit of color on this too, instead of having it perfectly white, but there's hardly any ink on there. Not sure I want to add more either. I think there's more of the Bermuda Bay, just a little, so it's not quite so white. Okay, so let's check my placement. How I want that. I think I'm going to have it a little bit curvy. So little tiny bits. Now when you're using the glue, remember you can use the tip to spread it. You don't have to have glops. Is that a word? You can just use the tip to spread that smooth. Then it won't peek out. That's the secret, well, to me, is not to have too many gloppiness. Boy. Oh, I'm going to go this way. I just didn't want to cover up those little dots. Okay, so there is the card front for the most part. This is Pacific Point, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half at 4 1/4. So you can see how it all pulls together once you get your layers on here. So one thing I'm going to do is add adhesive just to the designer paper. Then I'll add more dimensionals up top because, and maybe even on the bottom, because this is already raised. So and for it to be on the same level, I need to raise up the rest of this card front. So it is all raised, which gives a little more dimension to the card. How many of you like to use dimensionals? Some people can't craft without it. Yes, I am definitely doing a card kit for this bundle, Sharon. I will be covering the cards and the details on that bundle in just a few moments. So as soon as I'm done, I have the cards to share. Now this is kind of cool where you can add something. You can see how I've been sponging my fingers. I've been working, can you tell? All right, so what I'm going to do to make this stay is sneak a little bit of glue underneath that and even it out. You can tell that it's even right when you're on the back side, a little better than the front side. So now I just want to add or just cut this off at an angle. You could sure do, and I want them both to be the same angle. So if your scissors goes this way, just carry it over and run it the same. So that helps you keep it in line. Oh, trouble picking those up. So yeah, the card kit to go this month for this is going to be including the bundle. It's different than my usual. A lot of times my kits to go just include paper and ribbon and embellishments in the cards. This time it doesn't include paper, ribbon, and embellishments, but everything you need to make the cards with your own bundle. So I can use then the stamps and the inks, or not the stamps and the dies. You'll be using your own stamps and dies, and it will match up perfectly like mine. So yeah, you'll be doing your own die cutting. I will provide, like for this card here, I will provide the designer paper. But if you want it all, you can add on the paper. Actually, I can't include a whole pack of paper in the kit because it won't fit in the bag, but you can always order that separately. Okay, there's that card. I call it a Seaside View card. Isn't it pretty? Just very soft, a little bit of soft colors in the background. All right, so that's that. Now the last one is kind of my wow card. And all of these will be included in the exclusive video in the kit. There will be an exclusive video that is only available to those who purchase this kit to go. It will not be available for purchase like a lot of my tutorials are. It will be exclusive to people who order the kit. Okay, so let me get some of my pieces out. Here is this one. Look at that foil paper and the clouds. Those are those layering clouds. Isn't that just stunning? Just love it. This is one of the cards in the video that you'll be getting. Okay, so I have my pieces. I am going to use the Stamparatus. This is the best way to get, I don't know, it's a large stamp, and I've just found, you can see I've been using it a lot. I've found that I can get, I don't know, just easy to stamp with the Stamparatus. Just to do a test, I want it on, I don't want the edge showing here, so that's why it's a little bit low, and I'll be using Bermuda Bay ink for this. Yeah, that foil paper is gorgeous. So when I use the Stamparatus, you can ink it up, and then if you have the grid paper, you know exactly where it's going to go. Oops. So that's why I stamp it on the grid paper first, and then I know where to place my paper. So, and I put a stamp set underneath the plate, so you will always, it's nice and firm for you to stamp and press on. So now I'm just using the sleeve to rub. Okay, that's pretty good. If I want to do it again and make it darker, which I might, we'll see how that works. That's the nice thing about the Stamparatus. You can re-stamp. A lot of people use it especially for their greetings because it is so easy to get perfect. You can just re-stamp again if it didn't work out the first time. All right, so now we want to sponge, and I'm going to use Bermuda Bay on this wave, and now I'm okay with making a mess on my paper. I just don't want white under the wave. I mean, you could have white under the wave. I guess that's foam and water, but I just want to have a little more color and a little, maybe even some darker areas. And the other neat thing is you can add some, since I have Pacific Point in the other wave, I'm going to add a few areas, and this is where it gets to be a lot of fun, of other colors. And I'm going to go right on there and make it kind of add some hints of blue in the wave. Isn't that pretty? So you can leave it as is. You could even scoot that card over a little bit and emboss with white on top of this. There's so many fun techniques with this. And that's why my kit to go this month will include an exclusive video, because there's a lot of techniques. You'll see the cards that I'm going to show you for these in a little bit. But yeah, it's just so beautiful. Okay, to add these waves, look at the look at those. So they are two different. Can you kind of tell? This one has little points in it. This one stops kind of at an angle. They're different. So you can kind of decide which one you want on the bottom or the top. I don't really think it matters. I think it's a personal preference. So, and they're not hard to cut out. I was really surprised. Got a little piece there. How nicely they cut out. I can see I have a little piece left right there too. Okay, I'm going to use the, oops, too much. You don't want much when you're doing this. You just want little smears of glue. Now, again, if you don't like to use glue, definitely invest in the adhesive sheets, because then you will, you can adhere the adhesive sheets to your paper, the back of the paper, and then when you die cut, you just peel off that backing. Normally I would use a tweezer. Now this is gonna be larger than my card, so, but I want this edge to go to the edge. Okay, I'm gonna smear that off so the next one doesn't get any glue on it. So it's not hard, just a little tedious, I guess. Oh, here's another one. Just didn't get it all cut out. And another one. Okay. All right. So a little more. Oh, I don't have to do the end. I think that hangs over a little bit. So yeah, the adhesive sheets are the way to go if you don't like glue. Otherwise, I just find a little smear here and there, or tiny little dots. I like to smear it though, because then it doesn't ooze out as you are applying it. All right, so I'm watching my edge. Ooh, don't lay down yet. I'm watching my edges. You see how they layer so nicely without, and I'm using, because I'm kind of sticky. There is our layered wave, just gorgeous. And then you just trim off, because this is a little longer than my card is shorter than the traditional 5 1/4. That's what works, is the 5 1/4. Okay, now, oh, you know, I forgot to sponge, but we're okay. We're okay. I'll be adding, I'm gonna do, you won't believe it, but Pacific Point for the sponging here. Okay, so starting off the paper and very, very light. Basically, you're trying to do just a cloudy sky. You just don't want a white sky. So get most of your ink off, and then just start, oh, there's some of those little dots again. I need to wash my brush. I've been using this sponge all week, and now I'm getting, I haven't cleaned it. So you can see there's something on it somewhere that is giving me kind of a weird look. Maybe I can cover it up with my clouds and my greeting. Okay, all right, just so it's not white. Barely any ink on your blending brush. Yeah, exactly. The adhesive sheets are awesome for those intricate dies that you use. Whoops. I know I'm going to use Pacific Point ink for my greeting. Huh. And I didn't get my greeting out. Isn't that something? So I'm going to grab a block really quick. Should have that by me. A lot of times I do. So I'm going to use the You're So Totally Awesome. And I'm going to teach you a trick, because I realize that I probably won't be able to reach this in my punch. So I call it a punch trick, and you need just a scrap of paper. Some of you will know, and we're going to use a reacher. So what I'm doing is using this punch right here, the Label Me Fancy punch. And then I'm going to stick that on to my, what I call a reacher. And then put that in my punch. And then I can fiddle with it until it's exactly where I want it to be. And straight. And then you just punch. And then you throw that away. So it's a great way, if you're using scraps like I just did, to reach into your area. So yeah, that's going to cover up some of my little messes. But I am going to brush the edge of this with my blending brush just to give it another layer, a look of another layer without adding a layer. Just use the side of it, very gentle, to get that look. Okay. All right, more mini dimensionals, can't do without them. I'm going to layer those clouds in a little bit. You'll see those cloud dies, how beautiful they are. Is that straight? I think so. Okay, all right, so the clouds. Have I lost any? No, I haven't. And it won't show. I'll bring in my mat again so you can see them a little bit better. These are the layers of the clouds. So I'm going to add just a little bit of ink on the layer just so it actually shows up. Otherwise, it takes a little bit of, I don't know, you have to look a little closely if you don't add any on it, but it layers so neat. You just have, I don't know, I love these clouds. Okay, that one goes on the large one. See what I mean about layering? I'll show it closer in a little bit so you can see how they do show up in just a little bits. This would be a great time to use the adhesive sheets when you're doing this tiny little cloud. It's very small and thin. Okay, so now these will get dimensionals as well. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that you shared the video. So I think one is gonna do for that one, and we'll put, well, maybe not. I'll do another one just so it doesn't tip. All right. So we will add a cloud here. We're almost done with this card. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna kind of overlap it a little bit. All right. Make sure that this fits. Yes, it does. Doesn't that layer just bring out the blue in here? Now you could add any of the colors, Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, even navy would work. Doesn't have to be Pacific Point. Okay. And I'm going to add it to this. And then all we have left, I see a little hair here, there we go, is the gems, those beautiful gems. And one idea, if you think you're going to be messy, is to find a clean spot, turn it over, and burnish. This is called burnishing, when you're getting your adhesive to meet up with the paper. Okay, so our gems, I love these. I'm going to use one right there, and we'll add a little blue. Mix it up just a little bit, and probably Pool Party. I don't know if that's Coastal Cabana or Pool Party, but they're all those beautiful colors in there. Okay, done. Done with these 3 cards. Now remember, these 3 cards will also be included in the tutorial PDF and the video again. So I'll be doing, I think I'm going to do a video of 10 cards. So I have, let's see, a printout for that, my kit to go. All right, so the kit to go includes, I gotta lift up these cards. Oh, thank you, Fran. I'm so glad you like them. Thanks, Jackie. I appreciate that. All right, so the kit to go includes the bundle. You will receive the dies and the stamp set. So that is part of the bundle. It's exclusive to, with product. So if you already have the bundle and you want this pre-cut kit, you can choose a different $51 in product. So it includes this. It includes a 6-card kit, exclusive videos, PDF tutorial for 10 cards, and maybe more because I just can't stop. The kit and videos, I'm sorry, the videos and PDF are only available to people who purchase this kit from me. They're not going to be on my tutorial shop because it includes product, first of all, and I'm not going to sell the tutorial or PDF or videos. It's only for those who buy it right now. It might come later, possibly. It's $82 for all, including shipping. That's priority shipping. If you want the bundle, you have to email or message me by March 17th. And like I said, it's not going to be available on my tutorial shop because it includes a stamp set and dies. Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow a direct link for payment when you include product. Okay, so let's show some of the cards that will be in the tutorial. And some of these will be in the kit to go. So here's one. This uses some of the designer paper. Like I said, you'll get the ribbon, you'll get pieces to cut out if this was in the kit. Now I have not decided which cards are in the kit. This is a really cool technique. This card took me a lot of time to make. I made 25 for a swap. Really neat watercolor technique. So yeah, that's going to be in the video. Here's another one that's similar but different. Again, sponging, masking, yeah, lots of different. Here's another one with vellum and that cute little pelican using some designer paper. Another scenic card using, I used all the same colors for these cards. I think it included 5 or 6 colors of ink. I didn't want to get too wild with colors of ink. Yeah, a lot of torn technique. This one's really cool. And then this is a little different. It's kind of a triptych card with the 3 layers, almost like a photo. So that'll be in the tutorial. And of course, the ones I did today will be in the tutorial and or the kit to go. Haven't decided which ones, and then this one is gonna be in the tutorial as well. So, oops, I created my own wave. You know why? There's kind of a story to this. So when I cut out for my team meeting and we did some of these cards, especially this one, we made this card, I had a ton of leftover waves. I mean, I had all of these pieces that were just cool pieces that I can do something with that. My downline said, oh yeah, right, you know, that's way too much work. Well, I thought right now I'm kind of highlighting the floating technique. So that's what I did. I glued it to a window sheet and made my own wave. So just this will not be in the kit to go because it's kind of, somebody said, you did all that? I'm like, yeah, I did. I just was determined because they look beautiful. And I'm a saver. And some of these larger pieces, of course, I can use for other things like birds and die cuts or something. So I just could not use it. But anyway, that is the gist of the pre-cut kit to go. And it's available through March 17th. If you're interested, let me know. Remember, if you already own the Waves bundle, you just substitute any other $51 in product and you can get the pre-cut kit to go videos and PDF. So, all right, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next Tuesday. And don't forget all the promotions happening, the Waves and the, the savings are in bloom. So I think that's it. It's a busy Monday, March 1st. All right, happy days. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't, or my Facebook page so you don't miss anything. All right, thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week. All right, bye-bye.